Hello all. Excuse me. I want to do a little video about the whole Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren debacle, basically. And I don't know if you watched the debate last night, but I am an avid debate watcher, and I've made no secret that I am a Bernie Sanders supporter. But Warren was, until recently, my number two, until all this accusing him of saying that a woman could not win the presidency a year ago. And this all came out 3 weeks before Iowa, as Warren is losing ground. Anyway, that's my opinion, that it's a smear. The CNN debate was clearly in alignment with that. The questioning was designed to smear, to give the ick factor to something that Warren cannot prove and Bernie cannot prove, that, and can also not prove that he didn't say. Neither can prove this, because it was a meeting behind closed doors between the two of them. So this is called what's propaganda is. Anyway, my opinion on that. I'm going to look at the astrology. So I'm looking at Bernie Sanders' chart first, and there's some amazing kind of lineups on this, and I've looked at both charts separately. So if you would subscribe to my channel, you can find a whole playlist on the presidential on the leading presidential candidates, and I did a basic overview, but I'm going to look specifically at last night. So I've kind of timed the part where Bernie was questioned as to whether he said it, or well, they said he said it, and he said, well, no, I didn't say it. And then Elizabeth Warren, they asked, what did you think when he said it? As if it was a fact that he said it, that a woman could not win the presidency. And so I've timed it to kind of the middle of the debate, about 8 p.m, because I think that's about when it was. I can't remember exactly. It's close enough. Well, Bernie, and I mentioned in the original video, has this Mars Venus opposition, which of course is the anima, the animus, the masculine, the feminine. They're both in their own signs. So Mars is in the sign it rules Aries, and Venus is in the sign it rules Libra. He's also got an Aries moon. We don't have an exact time of birth, so I've put his chart at a 0 Aries thing. So he could, some people have said closer to 4 p.m, which would actually, let me edit it to 4 p.m, his chart, and see where that puts his moon. All right, so that puts his moon right on his Mars too. And so that's his emotions triggered by all this as well. Now, I've known this was coming for quite a while. We've just had this big Saturn-Pluto conjunction, major lineup. But Eris over here at 23 degrees of Aries is sitting right on this part here and opposing his Venus. So not only is the Saturn-Pluto energy that's really shaking up our patriarchy, or revealing the shit in our patriarchy, not only is that squaring his Venus Mars, it's squaring his moon lightly as well. But also Eris is on this part here. Now, it's my opinion that Eris is a table shaker, that she's revealing the artifice and throwing apple bombs. Thank you to Marina of Dark Star Astrology for that that image, throwing apple bombs into the patriarchy. And I believe Bernie's part in this is, you know, he's unwittingly almost, or unwillingly, or whatever, part of this revealing with Eris on his Mars, saying, shake up, you know, shake up this this gender dynamic thing, you know, that's going on in the world. You know, this you know, the Democratic Party and a lot of women are always going, you have to support women no matter what their policies, you know. And to me, as a 60-year-old woman, that's not what feminism was about. It's not supporting women no matter what, especially in something like politics. It's, you know, it's about supporting whether they what they support, what their policies are. You know, that's more important, really. Of course, I want to see more women in politics, but not at any price, let's say. So that's, again, I'm getting my own opinion in here, but here we go. I can't leave it out, basically, because I'm very upset by last night. Now, last night, around that time, which it would have been around that time, the moon was actually on Bernie Sanders' North Node, which is at 22 Virgo, and pulling him towards his karmic potential, his dharma in life, which is to serve. You know, he's a Virgo, and he's got the North Node in Virgo, and he's got Neptune in Virgo. He is kind of on this spiritual service mission. And it's my belief that this squaring to his Venus Mars is he's partly shaking up what it means to look at these gender dynamics in our world, because we all have masculine and feminine within us. We all have day, we all have night. My new book that is out on the 28th talks about you know, getting rid of this, you know, men are this, women are this binary thing, because, you know, some males have a lot of night energy in, which I prefer to the feminine, and some females have a lot of day energy in. So, you know, and we're all a combination of everything. So all this separation is just insane. And yes, I know the patriarchy has done it, but the patriarchy is dying. So we have to look at things differently, and we have to bring a new balance in the Mars-Venus opposition. And interestingly, since the debate, and since all this hoo-ha, a lot of donations to Elizabeth Warren are actually being refunded. And a lot of people are switching from her to Bernie Sanders. But he was very emotionally hurt by this. You know, this square, you could see it on his face. He was kind of like, this, I thought this was my friend. But these people are playing out a part, really, to be honest. So, you know, it's all part of the whole dynamic, I'm going to say. But I do find it interesting that the moon was right on his North Node, pulling him towards his Dharma. He's more determined than ever, probably, to fulfill his Dharma in life, which he believes you can see it in his face. You know, he's on a mission. Whether you agree with his policies or not, he's on a mission to change the whole system and the world. So that's just the way he is. So I'm going to add in Elizabeth Warren's chart here. And I'm actually just going to take out the last transits. Oh, sorry. There we go. I'm just going to take out the transit chart and put in just Bernie's. So here's Bernie in the middle with that Mars-Venus opposition and his North Node there. And look at this. Elizabeth Warren's lunar nodes are exactly on his Mars-Venus opposition, and her lunar nodes are being squared. So I'll put back in the transits. Her lunar nodes are being squared by this major upheaval in the patriarchy. And when something squares the lunar nodes like that, you are, especially in something like this, you are part of a major turning point, okay, to move forward. And then, of course, Eris is on her north node. So you could say her north node's in Aries, where it's pulling towards it, as if that would, pull her towards being a leader. I don't really think so. I just think she's really playing her part in revealing this. The system is screwed. Whether you support whoever, it's clear that those questions last night were loaded. It's clear that this smear on Bernie is unprovable, and it's something that's been thrown in, this apple bomb, to reveal like the corruption. The CNN are trash, that they loaded the questions, and then there's this little thing at the end of the debate, if you watched it, where first Elizabeth Warren shook hands with Biden and basically bowed towards him. She did a slight bow, as if she's like going, yes, I'll stick with the patriarchy. Very Aries and very Capricorn. And then she refused to shake Bernie's hand. She refused to, she moved away from the Libra South Node, which is one of partnership, diplomacy, working together. She's clearly like, I'm not working together anymore. That's, So that's my take on it. Where will it go from here? Somebody asked me if Bernie's kind of going to recover from all this. Well, I actually do think he is. I think people are going to go, that was just unfair. I've looked at Elizabeth Warren's Facebook page, and people are just going, no, no, this was not good. The outrage over it is just terrible, And the other thing I do want to mention that I noticed before that, going back to Bernie Sanders' chart, is today we have a powerful yard. We have Venus in exaltation over here in Pisces. We have Uranus over here in Venus ruled Taurus, both pointing at the moon. And this is called a finger of fate. So the fate is pointing at Bernie's Mercury in Libra. And I wonder if he's going to make some kind of statement today, to speak out, to kind of diffuse all this this crazy energy that's going to bring some healing. Because after all, his dharma is to serve. So we'll see. Oh, interestingly as well, he's got Juno, kind of the rights of the oppressed and women, right next to his Mercury. So we'll see what comes of this. The yard's quite fleeting, but I find it interesting that all this, Venus in Pisces is kind of like the highest form of love and compassion and unconditional love. Uranus is shaking things up a little bit, and Chiron is the key to healing, and it's pointing at his Mercury today. So we'll see. So I hope you found that interesting. Please don't forget to subscribe. Oh, I'll come on video for a second. Please don't forget to subscribe to my video. I am Louise Eddington. I am the Cosmic Owl, and here is my owl shirt. Do you like this? And I'll probably do more of these as things develop. I'm probably going to look at the Iowa caucus at some point. And interesting times, though, and so interesting that Elizabeth Warren's nodes are on that opposition on Bernie's chart. So see you later.